If you move to Louisville tomorrow, what are the top things that you need to do to fully understand and experience everything Louisville has to offer? I asked AI that exact question. I'm going to go through their responses now and see if I think it matches up. As someone who lives here and helps people move here all the time, I want to see what AI really thinks about understanding and experiencing Louisville. So I'll put this up on the screen, but the prompt that I've asked it is, imagine someone has just moved to Louisville, Kentucky, they're not visiting for a weekend, they live here now. What are the first 10 things they should do, experience, eat, explore, or understand if they want to genuinely get to know Louisville and understand what makes the city feel like Louisville? Don't just give me the top 10 most popular tourist attractions, create a balanced list that includes local culture, food, bourbon, sports, neighborhoods, parks, outdoors, history, local traditions, and things actual Louisville residents do. For each recommendation, briefly explain why experiencing it would help a new resident better understand the personality and culture of Louisville. So I'm hoping it creates a wider variety of things. I don't want it to be just, what's on a touristy website. I want to know if it deep dives into Louisville so you can know more about it. Looking at the list, number 10 is kind of surprising, so I'm excited to get to that one and discuss what I think on it. Let's go through the list and see exactly what AI recommends. And just as we're going through, it's either going to get my thumbs up, thumbs down, or maybe like a horizontal, neutral, depending on what it feels. So the first thing on the AI recommended list is to experience Churchill Downs, but preferably outside of Derby Day. I do recommend that. Churchill Downs is a staple in Louisville. It's a huge tourist attraction, yes, but it is a huge thing for the residents of Louisville. Now, experiencing the track can be overwhelming, so I understand why it says not on Derby Day. So if you are a local and want to get familiar with the track, go there. They do a lot of different night races and different options. Doesn't have to be just on Derby. So I would recommend that. I do think it's a phenomenal place. There's a lot of good and bad things about it. But going to the track, it's very spectacular. It's magical every time you go there. It's a huge facility. So I would keep that on the list. I think it's one of the things that Louisville is mainly known for. So I would keep this on the list. For going to Churchill Downs, I give that a thumbs up. Second item on the list, spend an afternoon in Cherokee Park, then explore the Highlands. So, okay, I can understand why they'd do that. Cherokee Park is huge. It's towards the center of Louisville, and it is very popular. Would I specifically say Cherokee Park? Probably not. What I would prefer to say, if it were me, was spend an afternoon in one of the parks, because Louisville is blessed with so much green space and so much greenery around. I wouldn't necessarily limit it to just one park. I would say go and experience a park or even multiple parks, because there's so many beautiful in and around Louisville. Then explore the Highlands afterwards. Highlands is very famous traditional place where lots of people like to go to. A lot of different things there, a lot of culture. Keep Louisville weird, you'll see around. I think there's a lot more to explore than just the Highlands. There is a lot going on there. I would say rather than Cherokee Park than the Highlands, I would say go and experience a park and then surrounding areas around that park, because each place in Louisville is different. So although the Highlands and Cherokee Park is amazing, do love that park, spend a lot of time there, I would open this up to include more of Louisville. So it might not be where you're living, or maybe, it is where you're living, but I would say experience one of the many parks we have and then what's around it. And you could do that multiple times, because there's so many different parks, and each park has its own benefits, and then what's around it is also different as well. So I'm going to give this one a horizontal thumbs up. Number 3, eat Louisville food, but don't stop at Hot Brown. I like the first half of that, eat Louisville food. Louisville is very blessed with a lot of local great food. It's sometimes tricky because it feels like there's too many options, but it's definitely one thing that I love about Louisville. It's just there's different food places, different sort of cuisines everywhere. So definitely eat Louisville food. That part I completely agree with. Don't stop at Hot Brown. So Hot Browns are famous, and filming this in 2026, it's actually the 100th anniversary of Louisville Brown Hotel creating the Hot Brown, and a lot of places around town have developed it. There's like a pizza, there's like a sandwich, there's all sorts of different types of the Hot Brown, so very good staple food in Louisville. I don't feel like I hear about it too much anymore. It's more of feels like a touristy food. Don't stop at a Hot Brown. I get what AI is trying to get at here is, there's a lot more options than just getting, Louisville's famous meal, the Hot Brown. So definitely go try Louisville food and go to different areas of town, because there's lots of different styles and restaurants around that you could really enjoy. So Eat Louisville food gets a thumbs up. Item number 4, learn bourbon without turning into a bourbon tourist. I would say bourbon's grown and exploded in the last few years, and Louisville's been a hotbed for it. There's a lot of distillery tours around, even inside of Louisville. Some of them you have to travel to, but there's a lot in town. For example, like Angel's Envy downtown. We also have some bourbon places. Neat on Bardstown Road is one of the, I think it's like top 10 in America for bourbon bars. Definitely go try that out. So I'm not a bourbon person myself, but I definitely see the appeal for it, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. So definitely go and experience it. Could just be one place, or there's a lot of bourbon distillery tours around, and they also do like where you can get onto a van and go from different ones in a day. So I see a lot of people coming from out of town to experience that. Living here, you'll get plenty of opportunities, so you could do it at your own pace. It doesn't have to be all in one day, but I would recommend experiencing what Louisville's bourbon scene is like, because it has grown a lot and there is lots of different options in many places around. Experiencing the bourbon scene gets my thumbs up. I like that one. Number 5, walk across the Big Four Bridge into southern Indiana. One of the older bridges in Louisville, and you can take it from downtown area by Waterfront Park, go to the bridge, and it used to be a railroad bridge, but now you can walk across into southern Indiana right at their downtown where they have a few things going on. It's an awesome bridge. It is I think it's like a mile, something like that. Don't quote me on that one because I don't have it in front of me. But it's a nice walk across. You can have bikes on there, skateboards, that sort of thing. It's always busy. There's lots of people on it. They have some history on there as well, so you can do some reading on it. Across different events, they can light up the bridge as well. Like July 4th, it looks amazing. They've got all the lights along the bridge. Would I say it's a staple of something to fully experience Louisville? I think it's a great place to get a view of the Louisville skyline, and it's also a great way to get across to southern Indiana without driving. So southern Indiana is kind of like a little extension of Louisville. A lot of people live there, commute over to Louisville for work. And there are some people who live in Louisville and go over to southern Indiana's downtown. Would I say it's one of the top 10 things to fully experience Louisville? I would say no. I think there's more important things. I like it, and I think it's definitely something you should do, but I wouldn't have it as a top priority for me to understand and experience Louisville. I'd say if it was one of the places to go and get a great view of Louisville skyline, I would say yes. So I like this one, like the bridge, love everything they've done about it. Go on there very often. There's running clubs that go on there as well. But for this list, I give it a thumbs down. Item number 6 on our list, we've got go to a Louisville City FC or Racing Louisville match. Lou City has recently built their stadium. It's downtown by the river. You can see it driving on the highway. It opens up. It's got 3 sides enclosed with the front is opened up where you can look into it. It's a beautiful stadium. Being from England, I know soccer stadiums very well, and it is a great stadium. I've been there a lot, and they did a really great job with it. The crowd does a phenomenal job at making it feel like a proper soccer match atmosphere, like it should. They've also got the Louisville Kings now, which is American football. Just won the last, football division. They won. They did a good job, great job. But there's lots going on there. It's a phenomenal stadium, great location. They have lots of events going on there. The teams are very good as well. Lou City and Racing Louisville are very good. It's very popular nowadays. Lots of people go. It's always very busy. They do a great job of packing out the stadiums. The team's good. The location's great. So understanding and experiencing Louisville, I would add that on my top 10 list. There's obviously lots of sports here in Louisville. We've got the U of L sports teams in all of their stadiums on the U of L campus, which is very popular. U of L campus, where it is, I think it's very well known. Obviously, lots of people know U of L. They've done great things and been very successful in the past. So as a new way where people in Louisville are going to, Lou City, Racing Louisville, I would agree and recommend that would be on my list of things to do. Go and see U of L, support them. I've been to some myself and it's a great experience. But as far as understanding Louisville and getting with the people of Louisville, I think Lou City probably takes it for me. So going to Lou City or Racing Louisville match gets my thumbs up. AI is number 7 on the list of things to do in Louisville, and we've got explore neighborhoods without having a destination. This one I agree with. Go and explore different neighborhoods in Louisville. Louisville is a melting pot of different things, people, events, vibes all over the city. So it's bigger than your traditional town. It's not as big as like Nashville, Chicago, but there's so much diversity, which is one of the draws and appeals of Louisville. There's different walks of life all over the town. So definitely go and experience different neighborhoods. They have different feels, different amenities. So go and explore it. Without having a destination, I mean, that's just ambling around. Maybe that's just a me thing. I wouldn't say without having a destination. I would take time and go and experience different neighborhoods and go and see different neighborhoods and see what they have to offer. I love each of them. Traveling around, showing people houses around different sides of town, is that there's always something to speak highly of in every area of Louisville. One of the reasons I love it is because it is so different. It's not the same sort of thing wherever you go. It's got its differences, it's got its different vibes, like I mentioned. So I definitely agree. Go and explore different neighborhoods, see what each of them has to offer, because there's so many different things to do and they're not all the same in each location. So depending on what you like, you may find that you are drawn to one different neighborhood than another one because of everything that's going on there. And the thing that makes it great about Louisville neighborhoods is that they're not always the same. They are changing, they are developing, they are growing and expanding. Like, for example, Nulu downtown has blown up in the last few years, and that just keeps on developing and adding more things. So it's great to see, one year you may like it and then come back a few years later and it's changed where you like it even more, or maybe somewhere else in town has taken your spot and, having more of your day-to-day activities. So definitely explore neighborhoods, but I'd say with a destination, have a plan to go and make sure you experience all of them. This item on my list, I'd say, gets my thumbs up. Item number 8 on our list, understand Muhammad Ali's Louisville. So there is the Muhammad Ali Center, there's the Muhammad Ali Museum, and then there's also the house where Muhammad Ali was actually born and raised. And then they also have on the buildings where they have Muhammad Ali's Louisville. I'm interested by this one. I don't hear people talking about it as much. I think just over time, with him being further away from being prominent, I think it's becoming less of a staple in Louisville. I've not actually been to the museum myself. I know people who have and speak very highly of it, and I do plan to go. But as far as making it onto a top 10 list of these are the things you need to do to understand Louisville and experience it, I'm not sure. Definitely put it on your list. Phenomenal person, phenomenal story, so definitely put it on your list. But as far as one of the top 10 things to do, maybe after going myself, I might change my feelings about that, but I feel like there's other things that I would put on a top 10 list before Muhammad Ali's Louisville. I think it's great to go and see and understand more of his journey. So overall, Muhammad Ali, sorry, lots of love, respect him, but for my list, gets a thumbs down. Item number 9, experience Derby festival season, especially Thunder over Louisville. I understand why AI had it as two separate things. We had our first item going to Churchill Downs, and now we've got experience Derby season. They're kind of related, but they're not. So Derby season is incredible. It is overwhelming. I would keep it on the list. It's definitely something that you need to experience being here in Louisville. People have their different feelings about it. It does have some bad aspects, but there's a lot of positivity going on there as well. And when it comes to Derby, it's not just the Kentucky Derby the day of the Saturday. It's like a full month. It's a full thing. They have a huge agenda of things going on, and there's always something going on every day leading up to Kentucky Derby. So I would definitely say there's lots of different aspects of Kentucky Derby that you can experience. I would say that is a good learning curve for Louisville. Now it's weird as well because it's like Louisville shuts down, especially for the week of the Kentucky Derby. A lot of businesses are not running at normal capacity. People are out going to the track, doing the different events. It's very weird to see, but if you get caught up in the excitement, it is fun. And then the week leading up to it, they have Kentucky Derby on the Saturday. Friday you have the Oaks. Thursday you have Thurby. Wednesday you have Wednesday. And then Tuesday you have 5-0 Tuesday. Now when I first moved here myself, Thurby was the event that a lot of the locals went to. Oaks and Derby can get very busy, a lot of people coming from out of town, so the locals were going on Thursday. Thurby then became very popular, so it pushed back to Wednesday. On Wednesday, then that got very busy, and now locals go on Tuesday. So depending on who you ask, there's lots of locals who love going on Oaks and Derby, It's very exciting. I've been to the Kentucky Derby myself, and that actual Kentucky Derby race is electric. But a lot of locals don't like it when it's so busy because ticket prices, parking, getting food and drink. So a lot of locals have preferred to go on the quieter days where it's just people that they know and they can have a more relaxed feel of it. I would definitely recommend trying different ones. You don't have to do it all in one year because that would be overwhelming. But take a few years, try a few different days, and see which ones you like. The Kentucky Derby also plans a lot of different events, as I mentioned. So there's Thunder over Louisville, which is the airplane show, which is phenomenal. Can get a little rained out because of the time of the year, but when it is on, it's amazing. They also have the hot air balloon display, which is great. When I'm leaving for work in the morning, you can see them all starting to rise, and the sky is filled with hot air balloons. A lot of different events going on. They have the food events as well, which is great. I'm a big food guy. Louisville's got a lot of food, so that's a great event. So experiencing Derby festival season definitely gets a thumbs up from me for this list. You need to go and experience it and enjoy it. And the 10th item, which is the most surprising one on the list for me, is find your own Louisville ritual. I've had to think on this one and read a little bit about why AI recommends this, and it says, after doing the iconic Louisville things, find the ordinary local ritual that becomes your Louisville thing. A farmer's market, neighborhood coffee shop, park walk, local restaurant, summer event, Saturday game, dive bar. I get what it's trying to get at, is that there's so many different things to do in Louisville, which is phenomenal. There's always some event, some activity going on, some, like I said, farmer's market going on. Understanding what there is to offer and finding what there is, which, Louisville does a great job of posting online in various places of what's going on, but finding what you love to do and doing that, I definitely recommend it because there's so much to do, and I want people in Louisville to find what they love to do and experience it, especially as a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into making sure there's activities going on in Louisville, and I love it when people attend and support it. I don't think it's great for this list because that's kind of a given. No one's really going to do something that they don't want to do or not do something that they enjoy doing. So definitely find your own Louisville ritual. There's lots of opportunities out there no matter what you like. There's something for everyone out there. I mean, I love going to coffee shops, and this is on one of the things that it recommends, but I wouldn't put that as a staple. There are lots of coffee shops out there, and surprisingly go with like something else. So find your own Louisville ritual. Love the sentiment behind it. Definitely do that, and the opportunities are there. Plenty of things for you to do, but for this list of top 10 things to do to fully experience Louisville, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I just think it's kind of a cop-out and kind of like cheap option. I would prefer to see other things on there. So that is the top 10 list that AI has given me about things to do for people who are moving to Louisville, even for people who live here who want to fully experience it and understand the culture. So out of 10, the score was... I think there's some things that are missing from this list that I really love and think should be on a top 10 list of things to experience. We've got Louisville Slugger, we've got Louisville Bats game, Logan Street Market, we've got Waterfront Wednesday, Headliners Music Festival, the Kentucky State Fair. There's a lot of honorable mentions that I could put up there. I think our list, or the list that AI has produced, is pretty good. I would replace a few out. Overall, pretty happy with the list. I would definitely recommend some of these things on there. But that is one of the magic and the spectacle of Louisville, is that there is so much to do, so much difference, and so much vibe, culture, diversity going on here, which is one of the reasons that I love it. And another reason that I love it is that when I do help clients move here from out of town, they each get into something different. So I love checking in with them after they've been here for, a year and a half, 2 years, and say, how have you enjoyed Louisville? What have you been doing? And they each say something different. And if you're watching this because you're thinking of moving to Louisville or you're planning to move to Louisville, I've got other videos on my YouTube page, has some different things about moving to Louisville. And if you want to reach out and discuss those opportunities and see what it's like to actually move here, all of my contact information is in the description. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next video.